Okay, so the first time it only let me record for a minute and 28 seconds. And then it said my connection was unstable. So we do have a Ethernet cord, and if this live, does not maintain a stable connection, we may have to hardwire the internet connection to the computer to provide a more stable streaming experience. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So I actually was not aware, wasn't organization services to um, organize people's collections for trading card games such as Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Riftbound, Flesh and Blood, Arcana, New Arcana. I mean, you name it, any kind of trading card game. Um, those are just kind of the most popular ones in this area. One Piece is another one. Um, and I've been thinking a while about actually doing this because I enjoy doing, and I know not every TCG player or collector truly enjoys doing, especially when you get to when you have like a lot of cards. It can be kind of difficult to find things when you're trying to make decks, when you're trying to find value cards, things like that. So Jason and I had already kind of went through and made up some ideas, which you can see here. So there's tiers, there's add-ons, there's the ultimate full package. We have ideas that I'll be going over for different things like um, if you get the value finder package, which includes sleeving and placing the cards in a binder, customers have the option of either providing their own binders, or we're also planning to order some uh, 4-pocket binders that are actually zipper binders um, that we will offer to put their cards in those. Of course, they have to pay for the binder, but other than that, and we may even look into customizing the binders a bit with, I'm thinking vinyl. Uh, so we'll work all the details out on that eventually. But the first step that I want to do is actually get our handwritten notes on a professional looking business, um, like a service menu, so that I can advertise on Marketplace and in our Facebook group, which the link to our Facebook group is on our YouTube channel. We welcome anyone that wants to join who's interested in TCG games, um, buying, selling, trading singles, or sale product. Um, or if you're interested in learning about, what it's like to start a small business and what steps are important to take, um, to get it really fine tuned and where you want it. So I have actually um, already created like a business plan for our business. We did have it last year. We had it registered as an LLC. We didn't follow through with it this year just because things kind of stalled out in the business. Um, we had a few major sales that we did on TCG Player and eBay, um, just because we were transitioning from being over the road on truck, because Jason's a truck driver, and we did that for 2 years. So we kind of cut back a lot during that time on selling cards because it's not easy to do when you're traveling all the time. But when we went to get off truck, we did a couple of big sales so that we would have some money to make the transition into local work and living. So we're just kind of building things back up. And I thought that this service has always been something I've thought about and never really gotten a chance to implement. But now that we're in a stable location, it's something that I would be able to do to help the business kind of grow and make new connections with different people in the TCG community. So um, the key here is just going to be finding the uh, type of menu that I want to create. So it doesn't look like there's any templates that I really think would do. So I don't know. I don't want like a winter thing. Most of this is like food menus and stuff, and that's definitely not what I'm looking for. An event menu looks kind of blocky though. Effects cover sheet, checklist. I'm not really seeing what I want. It's frustrating. So I wonder if actually that needs closed out of that. So I'm actually wondering if Excel might have some better templates. I guess we'll have to see. Looks like it's actually keeping me live longer, but I do notice that the video has a bit of lag, so possibly hardwiring will be just something that we'll make sure to do in order for like future live videos. Really bogs down the computer though. Thankfully, when I do the organization videos and go live doing that, it won't be um, like I won't be really working too much on the computer. I wonder if mainly the lag is anything extra that I'm doing on the computer. What? Watch it open like 10 windows. I might not be able to do anything on the computer while I'm live right now. Until I get the Ethernet cord out, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, like I said, I'll start out with advertising on Marketplace for the local area, and in our Facebook group for the few followers that we have. I don't know. Check services. Here we go. Service price list. Invoice. Another service price list. Maybe this one. Sure, we'll try it. So first of all, all right. So I am going to remove the address part. We're going to do Fort Smith area. Sorry, Fort Smith, Arkansas area. I don't have a website, but we do have the Facebook group. I could do that. In other news, we are in a flood watch starting at 10 p.m. tonight. Okay, I feel like that's just going to take way too long. Yeah, it's unstable. Okay. Ooh, it went away. We are back. Okay. So apparently trying to do anything on the web browser is not going to work. So what's that? So what I'll do is later, and I may just go ahead and type it. I'll type Facebook link because I will add that later when I'm not on live stream. don't think I want to put a phone number there either. Okay. So then I would go in and change this to tier 1. No, this would be color. Sort by set. And this would be called tier 1. And this is tier 2. And we have tier 3. Tier 4. And then we're going to copy this cell. And we're going to paste it there. We're going to move this over to here. Okay. Oh, what does he want? No, yet. Okay. Let's check in on the stream. How we doing? Looks like it's still going. I don't have the warning. Okay. So then I'll delete that. And this is actually going to be called Ultimate. Okay. And here, all right, so here, 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 and here. Nine. Copy. no. Insert. There we go. Yay. All right. Let's do color. Color. And then, oop, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. So we're gonna go with dollar. No, I should have it like centered. Center it. So there we go. $20 per 800 cards for the simple sort. And I can even add in here like basic, I guess. And here I would consider this, what did I write out? Two-step combo. That should be centered. There we go. Centered. All right. And then tier 3. Three, 2, 4 options. All right, and then tier 4 will be 5 plus options. Okay, so basically the way it turns out, so we're doing like the base, like if I'm sorting by color, if I'm sorting by rarity, set, those are like I'm only doing one option. So that's the basic package at $20 per 800 cards. So it really just depends on how many cards you bring. Then the next tier up is 2 types. So if I'm sorting by, if you choose your first option as color, your second option is rarity. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4 4 options in addition to the basic option that I want to be able to put in here. So I want like I'm going to want everyone to be able to see it. So I guess I'll just have to list out like select 1. And then enter. Nope. Sorry, control enter. And then we would put rarity. No. Try that again. Select 1. Control enter. Weird. No. Why? Because I'm not doing it right. Select 1. Card type. Play cost. So I put play cost because across the different TCG games, they call it, the cost is called something different depending on what game you're playing. So like for Magic the Gathering, it's called mana cost. For I think for Pokemon, so I don't really know how to play Pokemon. But I've learned a little bit about like the card makeup and stuff, and I believe that's also called energy. But Riftbound also does energy and power. They have energy and power costs. So basically, like the only thing I could really put was play cost because that really just kind of like encompasses all the cost to play the card. And then the last option is alphabetical. All right. Now, need to widen this. There we go. So I can copy this, put it here, and here, and here. I'll put it there too, but okay, so here I actually need to change this to color. Okay, and then widen that, and then copy, paste, paste, paste. And this is going to be something different. Get some of this like pre-entered stuff out of here because I don't need it. All right, that's starting to look better. All right, so tier 2, if you select color, you're going to be selecting this box. You're going to be rarity, card type, play cost, alphabetical. And then that's where that ends. And so that is going to be $30. I need white. $30 per 800 cards. All right. So then here, all of this should be white. I guess we'll do, 35 to 40. Now, stop doing that. Why is it doing that? I don't like that. Whatever. And then here, I think that's going to be 55 per 800. Yes, it jumps up more than $10, but the whole point of that is because if I'm doing all the options, it's going to be, it's going to take like a little bit more process to it, I guess you could say. Because like I have to start by separating out certain things, and then I have to separate the next thing, and so on and so forth. So it gets to be a little wonky. Plus alphabetizing. So you're either going to do play cost or alphabetizing. I don't think you're ever going to see where it's both, because that's just too confusing. It's basically one or the other. Um, it would be so hard to do both, really. I don't know. Yeah, because you can't like prioritize one over the other, or they can't have equal priority, I guess is what I should say. So, all right. We need to come back here and we need to so that being said, I really only have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 to 2. So the 5 plus options, the other reason that that's $15 more than 4 options is because in order to do 5 plus options, like, so I already said we can't do play cost and alphabetical. So a total of 5, right? So 1, 2, and then 3, and then you have to choose between those two, so you have 4. So you have 4 options, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 plus options is going to be those very niche requests. So like something very specific. For example, card type is going to be simple things like, so let's talk Magic the Gathering. You're going to have legendary creatures. But then most times you would just find all other creatures kind of lumped together and not really separated out. But there are several types of creatures. So you have like artifact creatures, enchantment creatures. What's another one? You have both. You have combinations, so artifact and enchantment. Things like that. So I guess an example of the 5+ options is going to be not just separating legendary out from the rest of the creatures, but also separating into the specific creature types. There's also different artifact types. You have equipment, you have auras, you have classes, you have sagas, all that kind of stuff. That's like very, very detailed sorting, right? So 5+ options means that they'll get to select all of the base options plus additional specific sections. So when I sorted R cards, I really like sagas, and um, I like to separate out like the auras, the equipment. Jason deals more with the artifacts than I do, so he would usually, separate out like equipment versus mana producing artifacts, and then artifacts that do other things, artifact creatures, like those. We had everything basically broken down into like every possible section that we could, because it just made it super easy. Like if I'm building a deck and I want an artifact creature, I know exactly where I gotta go to find it. It's gonna be in the artifact creature section. It's not complicated. So that's basically why that's $15 more than, instead of each selection up to that point was, $5 to $10 more. So yeah, and it's probably not how anyone's really gonna want to do it, but or at least maybe not very many. Now, the ultimate sort is its own kind of life, right? So I haven't gotten into the sort by set yet, and then I need to make a section for add-ons. So there's the add-ons are going to be the value finders, sleeve foils, add-in dividers, um, binders and binder customization, and new boxes. And then I'm also going to have binder organization too as a service. So I haven't figured that part out yet, but it was something that I thought of after Jason and I did our brainstorming. But basically, someone can just bring their binders to me and say, I want these organized by, could be set, it could be type, it could just be color or color and type, things like that. And I could actually show, which I'm going to do maybe here in just a bit. I'll actually show like how I have some of my binders organized out, and we'll put that on the live stream. Make sure we're still good. Looks like it. Nobody in here yet. I think I'm going to use my phone, really, just to see if I can pull it up. So what are we looking for here? I'm going to see how long it takes to recognize. We're going to go here. So we're live. Because I don't need to listen to the whole thing over again. And it, as soon as I went live, it showed one. There's a little bit of a delay. I can say a sentence and then stop and listen to it. Okay, that's kind of weird. Anyway, let's try interacting. Oh, look, I got a heart. There we go. So that's how that's going to look. Oh, and I can actually share it. That's how I'll do it. See, I'm so good. I'm gonna share it to. Wait. Do I have to share it to that first and then share it to groups? Facebook. Hmm. It says I shared it. Where is it? Aha. Share to group. Where is it? Why is it so far down on the list when I administer the group. It's weird. Movie strip. Sharing to group. Posted. Okay. Fun times. That's kind of cool though. Knock, knock. Someone knocked on the neighbor's door. Okay. So let's go back to our cards. Okay. I guess I'll change this. Includes the 4 basic options. Plus we'll do includes tier 4 plus what I figure 1, 2, 3, 3 add-ons. So this is our ideas on this part. And I actually want to combine these or only do outer borders. Okay. So I'm not going to put a price for this one yet because I have to actually like work out my add-on services. So sort set is going to be sort by set is like the basic is no organization to it whatsoever. Just the set. All right. And then tier 2 for sort by set is choose, select one. We got or card number. Oh, stop it. Okay. And so this is why, or this is where this one gets kind of interesting. So I may do, like if somebody has a special request of how the sets are sorted. For example, there's different formats where only certain sets or cards from a certain time period can be played legally in the game. I don't think I'll really get anyone that's actually asking for this. I may be wrong. Jason kind of brought it up. Um, it's not something that I would like to do because I don't think about cards in that way. So it would be complicated to do it this way. But basically, yeah, I think I'd have to put it. Like, do I want to put it under tier 4 or do I want to put it under like an ultimate sort? I don't know. I'd have to. I think. maybe here I might just put special requests. And then put like simple. And I think I'm going to put format inclusive under the ultimate sort. So what I mean by that is format inclusive just means that, you know, you pick the customer would pick a specific format that they play, right? And I would sort the cards according to that format, like cards that are included in that sets. But it would also include removing or separating banned cards, right? So basically I would have yes, thank you. So I would separate by the set, and I would do probably card number order first, because instead of, well, I might put them in release order after card number so that it's easier for me to select from certain time periods in the game's history, or select specific sets, I guess. But then I would have to actually look up current ban listings or ban lists and then go through all of those cards like a second time to find the banned cards. Jason's really more good at knowing like what cards are banned and what cards aren't. I have to look them up. But he also has 20 years experience on me, at least with Magic the Gathering. So I combine these. There. I guess that's as good as I'm gonna get that. Okay. Check on the stream. Still just me as a viewer. Hi, me. But still going strong at an hour in. Seems pretty good. I guess this isn't like the super interesting parts of it or whatever, but I guess this is where I can start showing some more interesting parts. See how this is gonna look. Okay, so a little bit of history, background history, I guess, about Jason and I. Um, he played Magic since he was a teenager, so 20 years plus. And when we met, he introduced me to Magic the Gathering. Now, I'd heard of Pokemon. I think everybody's heard of Pokemon. And I have 5 kids, so, and I have one boy out of those 5 kids. So I had gotten him baseball cards when he was young, but that was as far into it as I went. So I really was not aware of the whole community of um, Magic the Gathering and the awesome um, what awesome people they are to sit down and be willing to play a game with a perfect stranger, because that's like totally awesome, right? So I've always been into like fantasy type stuff though. I love movies. I like Star Wars, anything about dragons. I've always loved dragons. So the fact that I didn't know anything about Magic the Gathering previous. Hello? Yeah. Why? Okay, well, I was about to show my dragon binder on stream, so my dragon binder to show my organization. I had a couple of people in here. I didn't know if you were one of them or not, but gotcha. Basically, there's like me. I'm my own viewer. Yeah. No. Nobody's. I mean, it'll be posted, but why did you need to talk about something sensitive? I mean, I can talk about that stuff too, but I mean, because it's the channel isn't just about um, showing people organizing or things like that. Like it's also about business, and so like going over things that we have to purchase in order to make it a successful um, business is part of the talking points, I guess you could say. So it's not a bad thing for people to hear, what it is that we plan on buying and the different things that we're looking at. But until I hardwire in, I discovered that I really cannot do anything else with the internet on a computer. I have to do it all on my phone. So it was long enough to reach over here. It's just I would probably have to have the TV dinner tray thing like over here on my right hand side with the the computer there to hardwire it in so that it would be long enough to reach. It connected before when I did that test to try and get that one job or whatever, like, it connected, and it wasn't even about that, it was about my operating system or some stupid thing. Like, apparently my efficient little computer for school is not efficient for what they wanted it to handle or whatever. But I think if we're hardwired into it, I think that the streaming will go a lot better and it won't be like all choppy. 'Cause it's a little slow, but well, so what I did first was, and I guess this is a good recap too for the stream. As we went through, I went and I found a template. I had to find it on Excel, where I was able to list like it's called a service price list. And so I got that like kind of filled out, not entirely because it's a lot to fill out, you know. Um, but I got the first few tiers filled out for each um, different main type. And I put format inclusive, what you were talking about, like under the ultimate sort for set because it's something that I'm not really going to want to do. But if they really want me to, like, but it would include pulling any banned cards out of it and separating those from it. Yeah. Well, I have, so let me tell you what I have first because I did a little bit more work on that. So I did what you suggested, the $20 per 800 cards. And then tier 2 is $30 per 800 cards. And tier 3 is 35 to 40 because it's 3 to 4 options per 800 cards. And then tier 5 is 55 per 800 cards. And the reason it jumps so much is because it's all of the aforementioned types or selections. But you can only do play cost or alphabetical. You can't do both. Like that would be too hard to try and navigate. But the 5+ options is going to be like special requests, or like if they want legendary, enchantment, artifact creatures all like separated out from each other, and different types of enchantments separated out like sagas and classes and auras, you know. Um, and then the ultimate sort includes tier 4 plus 3 add-ons, which is typically probably going to be like, or up to 3 add-ons. It's going to be like the Value Finder, Sleep Foils, Dividers, and then if they purchase one of our binders, um, we would include the binder in it, but they would have to pay for the customization as an additional cost. True. You want to do it like different number of cards? Like maybe per 5,000 cards or something? Like, Right. Well, I kind of feel like if all they have is like, I don't know, 5 to 700 cards, I think they can organize it on their own. You know what I mean? I mean, we could do from 500 to, what did you say for the first bracket? True. Well, I could probably easily do like 2,000 cards. If you figure like basically $10 per thousand. So like per 1,000 cards. Well, what we could do though is we could do $20 per thousand cards. So just make it all per thousand, right? Um, and I mean, really, if they're bringing it to me, bringing less than 1,000 cards to me, I really don't think that they should be paying for someone to sort their cards. Uh, but that $20 would at that point just be the base fee. You know what I mean? So 1,000 or less. I don't I don't know how to word it really, but it's like $20 per thousand, and then I could just put base fee, right? Because that's the absolute minimum that I would charge is $20. Um, so then I would change all of these to per thousand. But I agree, like we do have to make it like affordable, but at the same time, like my time is also valuable. So and let's wrap this. There. Ha. Okay. Um, but I haven't priced out what the ultimates are going to be yet because so what I included with the ultimate is tier 4 plus 3 add-ons, a TCG player app. I'm not done yet. A TCG player app list of value cards found, 3 entries into monthly giveaway raffle, and a mystery gift box. Right. Yeah. I did $10 for tier 2. But then tier 3, they can add on 1 to 2 more options. I broke that up into $5 to $10 increase. Partly because with the set sort, the set tier 3 is only going to be 35 because there aren't as many options for the set sort. So I mean, really, that's what that is. That's why it's like 35 to 40. All right. Um. So I guess I was thinking a little bit more broad, but I mean, yes, I could possibly do it by what color? But see, here's the thing is if you're doing it by card number, typically the manufacturer or the printers um already have them in kind of like a certain order. And most times it's going to be like grouped by colors and stuff. All I have is release order, right? So having each so the first is to sort by set with no organization necessarily to it. There's, no separation of anything except different sets. And then number 2 would be to organize those sets by either release order or and that's going from oldest to most current, or card number. I I think if they're trying to do the other thing, they're probably trying to do way too much. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now I do also have under the sort by set, I, under tier 4, I put special requests, but simple, right? So if, like you said, maybe they want, I don't know, certain things in a certain order or whatever. I don't even know. Oh, what it would be is if, so like Magic the Gathering has, like master sets and they have um, modern sets, core sets, stuff like that. That could be a pretty simple way to organize them, right? Because if I did it in release order, and then I went, like on TCG or whatever, and I looked at the blocks, right? So anything that's specific to um let's say in Magic the Gathering, the modern horizons, right? So that would be like 3 sets in that group, and then so on. I think that should be an add-on. um so yes, like card conditioning, basically sorting out any damaged or non-playable, non-sleeve playable cards into a separate box for them to be able to go through and determine whether or not they want to um, dispose of them or keep them. So I think that should just be like a $5 add-on, because that would be really simple. Like in any organization that I'm doing, if I notice anything that's obviously going to be not sleeve playable, I can just kind of put that off in like a separate pile to deal with later. True. I mean, if they have just with the sort set, if they want just the one card or if they want a play set, and then I have to also know in whichever game it is that they have, um, what a playset is, because like for Magic it's 4 in standard and modern card format, um, and in Riftbound it's 3 for most cards, except for like Ornn's equipment. Lorcana, I think was 4. Or no, was it 4 or was it 3? It's been a while since we looked at Lorcana. You know what I mean though? Like I would have to make sure that I know, like, you know, based on the game that they're playing, like what it is that they need for that kind of um, for the playset option. Um, Another thing that could be considered an ultimate sort for sort by set could be, I guess it could be list of missing cards, right? Because if I'm sorting by set, I'm going to be able, once I get them all like lined up and stuff, I'd be able to just go through them really quick and just write down the card number that's missing, and actually be able to do like a printout for them. But that's where we would need like a printer as well. But and we would be able to print out a list of like card numbers that they're missing in each set that they currently own. I mean, most times though, and what I will say is maybe not always, but most times the sort set is probably collectors, and they're looking to have at least one of every single card in the set, and they're probably putting them in binders. So it would be really easy to like do the sort set, do it by number, and then you can organize each binder into like release order so that they're lined up in a row, right? But then I'd just be able to like flip through the binders and see which ones are missing. But so can they. So I mean, that list would really just be, do you really want to pay me to literally do up a list like on TCG Player of all of your missing cards? or once they're organized, that'd be pretty simple for someone to follow up on and not have to pay that kind of money for. Well, they would have to provide the binders for that type of situation. So if they come to me with 30,000 cards and they want all of them in binders by set, yeah. But like I really feel like it should be the customer's responsibility to provide the binders and the sleeves, not mine. Yes, exactly. That's so the 4 card zipper binders that we found that we talked about maybe doing offering customization on. That's literally just for value find that add-on. Um, so I mean anything outside of that, if they're wanting, sets and binders and stuff like that, they're gonna have to buy that and bring it with the cards. I mean, I could do it in boxes. I could do the sets in boxes and then they could, sleeve and put it in binders themselves. But I'm saying it would be part of like the ultimate package. Yeah. Well, we'd have to ask them what they want. So, like, do you want 9 pocket binders or do you want 12 pocket binders? And then if you want us to find it, like, are you okay with non-zipper binders or do you require zipper binders? And then where we're going to be able to even get them, you know. Go ahead. Oh, yeah. True. Then they have to get it. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Like, we would definitely, do our research and find, whatever deals we can on some good quality binders that we would have in stock for this, like the different purposes. Yeah. But yeah, if they want something cheaper than what we find, then they would have to bring it. Or just have me do the set sort by in the boxes or whatever, and then they can um, put it in whatever binders they want. Okay. Hmm. Well, that sounds kind of fishy. Yeah, no, I know it sounds like a game store, and I'm still saying that it sounds really fishy. If they advertise that they're going to go by market price, then they quote you a different price, then they're not going by market price. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. The binders, the boxes, and the microphone. So you're just talking about the 4-pocket binders, though, right? We're not getting the bigger binders just yet. I mean, that in itself is expensive enough. But okay. I want to watch Lord of the Rings. Netflix should totally put it back on. We're getting close to summer. Kids will be out of school. They need something decent to watch. Oh, they're coming out with a new Harry Potter show. Did you see that? Have you seen the previews for that? Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Like, I'm not even mad that they're not it. I'm like totally excited for that. And I think it's supposed to be on HBO. So I want to get a subscription. Yeah. What? Oh, that's funny. I mean, it's got to be interesting for celebrities to, like go through moments where like they were like in something that was so popular and so like huge, right? And then they go into like adulthood and they know how popular they were and all that kind of stuff. That would definitely be an interesting angle. Oh, that's funny. But see, I don't think anybody else has been like in the stream or anything, but I know so it cut me off from being in the stream because you called and I'm in a phone call. But while I had it set up on my phone or whatever, I did notice a couple of other people like drop in. Now I don't know if they were bots or if they were actual people that popped in for a second to see what I was talking about or whatever, but um For the title of this one, it's Attempt 2. First time live. And then for the description, I put same as the first. I'm sure you are. I mean, we could do a box opening tonight, but I mean, I don't really have any viewers yet, but it would be posted like after the live, it would be posted on the channel. So, I mean, it's just content. Anything we do is going to be content that's going to build the channel and encourage more and more people to come check us out when we do go live. Maybe, yeah. Yeah. I don't really have the light on behind me. I have my cup, my water cup. Well, like I said, anything we put up is just like building consistency and like so like I don't expect to really get too many viewers. I don't expect to get anybody interact for a while until we really start being able to put together, nice decorations in the background and big box openings and have it so that the sound quality is better, being connected so that the streaming quality is better. Like it'll all like end up coming together. But as we're building it up, it doesn't hurt to have videos, even that just show the progress. So yeah, yeah. And if you have to, just drop it in the Dropbox or whatever. We don't know if he stops in on, Saturday mornings or whatever to see if there's any payments to take to the bank. Yeah, I know. That's fine. It would still be considered. So, like, my point is we don't know if he stops it on Saturday or if he just doesn't go in until Monday. Okay, but even being said, we don't know 100%. So, fine. No,